Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to share something that could shift the entire trajectory of your life. If you're sitting here thinking, I want more success, more love, more fulfillment, there's only one thing standing between where you are and where you could be: your standard. Standards are the foundation for all progress. You don't get what you wish for. You don't even get what you deserve. You get what you demand from yourself and the world. If you're stuck, it's not because life is unfair or because you lack resources. It's because you're tolerating something less than what you truly want. Now let me ask you something. Why do we settle? Fear, comfort? Or is it that we've been taught not to ask for too much, not to dream too big? Let me tell you something. Settling isn't safety. Settling is slow death. There's a difference between goals and standards. A goal is something you hope to achieve, but a standard, that's who you are. It's non-negotiable. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. And to raise those standards, you need to shift your identity. If you want to lose weight, you can't just try to diet. You've got to become the person who prioritizes health and fitness. If you want wealth, stop wishing to be rich and start living like someone who's financially disciplined, focused, and relentless. What? But here's the hard truth. Many of us are chained to limiting beliefs. We tell ourselves, I'm too old, too young, too uneducated, too stuck. Let me tell you right now, that story is a lie. The moment you question your excuses, you'll see they hold no power except the power you've given them. Do you know what drives every decision you ever made? Pain and pleasure. The question is, have you learned to use them, or are they using you? Raise your standards by linking massive pain to staying the same and massive pleasure to change. Suddenly, excuses lose their grip. The power of standards. Standards are the invisible threads that weave together the fabric of our societies, the guiding stars that illuminate our paths, and the silent architects of progress. They define what is acceptable, desirable, or achievable, setting a benchmark for excellence that drives individuals, organizations, and nations to aim higher. Without standards, the world would be a chaotic landscape, devoid of the clarity and consistency that enable growth and innovation. Consider the everyday objects we use: light bulbs, smartphones, the cars we drive. Behind each of these lies a set of meticulously defined standards ensuring compatibility, safety, and efficiency. A light bulb purchased in one corner of the globe will fit into a socket on the other side, because a universal standard exists. This simple yet profound consistency fosters trust, enhances convenience, and creates an interconnected world where progress is shared rather than isolated. Standards are the language through which humanity collaborates. Each specification a promise that something will work as expected. But the power of standards goes far beyond products and technologies. It reaches into the realm of human potential. They challenge us to rise above mediocrity, urging us to be better, stronger, and more capable. Standards inspire athletes to push the limits of their bodies, scientists to unravel the mysteries of the universe, and artists to craft works that captivate the soul. They are a reflection of what we value and a declaration of what we believe is possible. Both standards unify us, bridging gaps between cultures, industries, and generations. They provide a common ground where diverse ideas and innovations can flourish. Imagine a world without shared standards. Chaos would reign in everything from communication to commerce. Yet, through agreed upon principles, the world becomes smaller and more accessible. Standards create harmony and complexity, transforming a cacophony of ideas into a symphony of progress. However, the power of standards is not static. It evolves. New challenges demand new benchmarks. What was exceptional yesterday becomes ordinary today, and what is extraordinary today becomes the baseline for tomorrow. This dynamic nature of standards is what fuels advancement. It reminds us that while standards define the present, they also shape the future. They compel us to envision a better world, not only for ourselves, but for generations yet to come. Standards, at their core, are not just about measurement or compliance. They are about aspiration. They are a testament to the belief that we can do better, that humanity can innovate, and that progress is a shared journey. They are not constraints, but catalysts, not limitations, but launch pads. When we set and strive for high standards, we honor the best within ourselves, empowering individuals and communities alike to rise and thrive. So, let us embrace the power of standards, not as rules etched in stone, but as living aspirations that challenge us to think bigger, aim higher, and dream further. For in doing so, we unlock the boundless potential within us all. Why we settle? We settle because it feels safe. We settle because the unknown is frightening, and the effort required to climb out of our comfort zones seems too great. We tell ourselves that this is enough, that the job, the relationship, the circumstances we find ourselves in are as good as it gets. Sometimes we even convince ourselves that wanting more is selfish, that dreaming bigger is foolish, or that change is simply impossible. But the truth is, settling is the quiet thief of joy. It whispers to us that what we have now is all we're capable of achieving. And in doing so, it robs us of the chance to discover the extraordinary. It tempts us with convenience, but convenience is not the same as fulfillment. It offers us stability, but stability without passion is just a cage with invisible bars. We settle because we fear failure. We fear the risk of chasing something more, of taking a leap and falling short. Yet what if we dared to reframe failure? What if failure was not the end, but a stepping stone, a teacher, a necessary part of the journey toward the life we truly want? Every great achievement has been built on a foundation of mistakes, missteps, and moments of uncertainty. It is not failure we should fear, but the regret of never trying. We settle because we think we're not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not deserving enough. That inner voice, the one that tells us to play small, is not the voice of truth. It is the echo of every doubt we've ever entertained, every insecurity we've ever allowed to grow roots. And yet, within each of us is a boundless potential waiting to be unearthed. The question is not whether we are enough, but whether we will give ourselves permission to believe it. We settle because change is uncomfortable. Growth is rarely easy. It demands courage, persistence, and an openness to failure. It requires us to shed the familiar and embrace the unknown. But discomfort is where transformation lives. It's where we find our resilience, our creativity, and our strength. It's where we learn what we're truly capable of. The path to a fulfilling life is not smooth, but it is worth every stumble, every challenge, and every doubt we must overcome. And sometimes we settle simply because we lose sight of what's possible. The dreams we once nurtured become buried beneath the weight of responsibilities and routine. The spark that once ignited our passion is dimmed by time and compromise. But that spark is never truly extinguished. It waits patiently for us to fan it back into a flame. It reminds us that it is never too late to dream again, to reach for more, to rewrite our stories. Settling is a choice, but so is striving. So is believing in something greater. So is taking the first small step toward a life that sets our soul on fire. If we're willing to risk the temporary discomfort of growth, we may find a joy we never thought possible. A life that reflects not just what we've been given, but what we've dared to create. Breaking limiting beliefs. Breaking limiting beliefs is one of the most powerful steps we can take toward personal growth and transformation. These beliefs, often formed early in life, whisper to us that we aren't enough, that success isn't for us, or that our dreams are too big to become reality. But let me tell you something important. Those whispers are lies. They are barriers we've constructed in our minds, often without even realizing it. And the beauty of these barriers, they are not made of steel or stone, they are made of thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. I think about how often we hear people say, "I could never do that," or "that's just not who I am." These phrases are the echoes of limiting beliefs that have kept us tethered to mediocrity, when in truth we are built for greatness. Imagine the freedom of stepping beyond those self-imposed boundaries. Imagine waking up every morning no longer held back by fear or doubt, but driven by possibility. Breaking a limiting belief begins with recognizing it. What stories have you been telling yourself? Maybe it's, "I'm not smart enough, I'm not strong enough, or I'm too late to start." These stories might feel real because we've repeated them so many times, but they are not truths, they are habits of thought. And like any habit, they can be unlearned. When you catch yourself thinking small, pause and ask, is this really true? Or is this just a belief I've chosen to accept? That question alone can create a crack in the foundation of a limiting belief. Now, once you recognize a limiting belief, you must replace it. Not with empty affirmations, but with empowering truths rooted in possibility. If you've told yourself, "I'll never be successful," start reframing it. Tell yourself, "Every day I'm learning and growing and success is on my horizon." Will it feel awkward at first? Probably. Changing the narrative in your mind isn't easy. It's a battle against years of conditioning. But every time you choose a new belief over an old one, you weaken the chains that have been holding you back. And there will be moments of doubt. There will be times when the old beliefs feel stronger than ever. But let me remind you, you are stronger. You are not your past. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not bound by the limits others have placed on you or the limits you've placed on yourself. You are a force of nature capable of reinventing yourself as many times as it takes. You have within you the ability to redefine what is possible for your life. Think of all the great people who have ever achieved something extraordinary. Do you believe they never had doubts? Of course they did. But they chose not to live in those doubts. They broke their limiting beliefs by daring to believe in something greater than their fears. And that same power lies within you. Your potential is infinite. Your dreams are valid. And the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the belief that you can't get there. Tear that belief down. Shatter it. Step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. The world is waiting for the best version of you, and it's time to rise to that challenge. Daily habits, massive results. Daily habits are the building blocks of extraordinary outcomes. While massive results often appear to spring forth as monumental achievements, they are almost always the culmination of small, consistent actions compounded over time. It's in the seemingly ordinary, repetitive moments that greatness is forged, as the choices we make each day define the trajectory of our lives. Consider this: each habit is like a single drop of water falling into a vast ocean. On its own, it may seem insignificant, but over time, those drops create waves, shaping the shoreline of our future. Whether it's waking up early, dedicating time to learning, or simply showing up with focus and determination, these daily commitments set in motion the momentum that carries us forward. They are the silent architects of success, building strength, resilience, and mastery, one moment at a time. When we commit to even the smallest positive habits, we are not just changing our actions, we are shaping our identity. Every time you make the choice to follow through, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. A single push-up might not make you fit today, and reading one page might not make you a scholar tomorrow, but these acts are not about instant gratification. They are about showing up for the future version of yourself, the one who reaps the rewards of today's persistence. Think about the power of consistency. A river does not carve through rock with sheer force, but with steady persistence. In the same way, our daily habits wear away obstacles, open up new opportunities, and create paths where none existed before. The magic lies in the fact that no action, however small, is wasted. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, compounds over time, turning into exponential growth. What makes this journey even more extraordinary is the ripple effect. As your habits begin to align with your goals, they not only transform your own life, but inspire and uplift those around you. The discipline, energy, and passion you cultivate radiate outward, showing others what is possible when small, consistent actions meet unshakable determination. Massive results don't come from waiting for the perfect moment or making a single monumental decision. They are born from the quiet discipline of choosing growth every day, of leaning into discomfort, and of committing to the process no matter how slow the progress may seem. Each day is an opportunity to plant seeds, nurture growth, and build a foundation for success that, over time, becomes unshakable. So embrace the simplicity of daily habits. Celebrate the small victories. Trust in the process. Because the journey to massive results begins not with extraordinary efforts, but with ordinary actions done consistently, passionately, and with purpose. Environment and influence. Environment and influence shape the very essence of who we are, molding our thoughts, actions, and aspirations in ways both visible and unseen. They whisper to us in subtle tones, encouraging or discouraging, uplifting or restraining, yet their power is undeniable. Imagine the richness of a fertile garden. In such an environment, seeds thrive, reaching their full potential. In contrast, a barren wasteland stifles growth, no matter how resilient the seed may be. So too, are we affected by the spaces we inhabit and the people we surround ourselves with. I think of the power of influence, how the energy of one individual can spark a movement, how a single encouraging word can alter the trajectory of a life. The people we choose to keep close act as mirrors, reflecting back our potential or our limitations. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to rise higher, and you will discover that your capacity for growth is boundless. But settle for influences that sow doubt or complacency, and you may find your ambitions dimmed, your light subdued. Our environment is not just physical, it is emotional and intellectual as well. The books we read, the conversations we engage in, the media we consume, all of these leave imprints on us. They shape the lens through which we view the world and define what we believe to be possible. By curating these influences with care, by choosing inspiration over mediocrity, we build a foundation for greatness within ourselves. Yet we are not just products of our surroundings, we are also architects of them. Each of us holds the power to influence the environment of others, to be the voice of encouragement, the source of positivity, the example of integrity. In doing so, we amplify the good that surrounds us, creating ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. Imagine a world where everyone recognizes the profound impact of their environment and influence, where we lift each other up, fostering creativity, courage, and kindness. That world begins with each of us here and now, choosing wisely and leading boldly. So here we are at the crossroads where choice meets destiny. You've heard the call. The question now is, what will you do with it? Raising your standards isn't just a nice idea, it's the blueprint for everything you've ever wanted. It's deciding right here, right now, that the life you're living is no longer enough. That you will no longer tolerate excuses, mediocrity, or fear holding you back. When you raise your standards, you raise your identity. You don't just achieve more, you become more. And that, my friends, is the ultimate reward. Not just having what you desire, but knowing you earned it, knowing you stood up, pushed through, and made it happen. So I leave you with this: take action today. Start small, start messy, but just start. Because your future self is watching and they're counting on you to step up. And the life you want is waiting for you. Don't wait for someday. Make someday now. Raise your standards and you won't just live, you'll thrive. Thank you.